Right. Good morning, everyone. All the online students. Is it the screen is visible? All the online students. Could you please everyone respond in the chat window? I request all the online students need to respond in the chat window. Okay. Perfect, guys. Let's get started then. All right. So the one we have been completed this particular part one of the training program, or we can consider part one of the concepts here. Now, another most important as part of real time, as part of real time or as part of interview. It can be real time, it can be interview. Part two is the most important concept. If I'm just taking with this particular part two is the most important concept here. Right? If I'm just taking with this particular perspective of the part two, so part two is the most important concept. What is that? Automation frameworks. Automation frameworks. So if I'm just taking with these particular automation frameworks as part of real-time standards, as part of that particular real-time standards, okay, without implementing with the frameworks, we cannot say that it is an 100% of automation. So till now, what we have been done? Till now, what we have been done, we can say that we're done with the automation. Okay. So till now, what we have been done is we can say that we have been done with the automation, but which we cannot say that we done 100% of automation. Because according to the real-time standards, it's mandatory that according to that particular real-time standards, it's mandatory that we have to go with that particular automation. I mean, you have to go with automation frameworks, which need to be go with that particular perspective of automation frameworks. Okay, right. So now, what is the meaning of this? See, in the name itself, we can clearly understand. Automation framework. That means whatever the automation work you are doing, you have to frame in the proper structure. As simple as whatever the automation work you are doing, you have to frame. Okay. You need to frame in the proper structure. That is what I will be taking with automation framework. Okay, right. Let's see here. Still to understand in the simple way, the best example, let's consider laptop. In your laptop, whatever the data you are maintaining, is that you are maintaining with the data? Is that you are maintaining with the data in multiple folders or one folder? In your laptop, is that you are maintaining in one folder or multiple folder? Multiple folders, right? So why you are going with the multiple folder? Why not you can go with only single folder? Why you need to go with the multiple folders? Why you cannot go with the single folder? Right. So as simple we can say that two things here. Easy access, easy maintenance. Right? So easy access and easy maintenance here. So which we can say that we can mention that it will be taking with that particular easy access and it will be taking with easy maintenance here. Right? Because see here, if you look into this, these many batches are there. If I'm clubbing together, it will become in a more difficult. As I was maintaining with the folder wise, whatever the batch I record, just I'll open that particular folder. So the maintenance will be very easy. The way of access also will be very easy here. The same approach has been applied while working with the framework. So in simple definition, if I'm just taking with this particular simple definition, which we can say that we can mention that creation of folder structure, creation of folder structure with standard rules, creation of folder structure with standard rules here. That means how many folders you have to create. What are the standard rules you have to follow? How many folders you need to create? What are the standard rules you need to follow? Right? It will depends on that particular project requirement or it will depends on client requirement. There is no specific rule or there is no condition saying that framework means we need to have in it two folders or framework means we need to have in it three folders. We are not having that particular rules here. So if I'm just taking with creation of folder structure with standard rules here. Okay, but you may consider any framework. You may consider any kind of the framework, right? So you may consider any kind of framework, or you may go with any kind of automation tool, any framework, any automation tool. Right? So any framework, any automation tool, you have to follow the two common standards. You need to follow the two common standards. What are the two standards you will follow? One is design. Design of automation framework. One is design of automation framework. Another one, design of automation scripts. So one is design of automation framework. Another one, design of automation scripts here. So two things we got. So one is design of automation framework. Another one, design of automation scripts here. Right? So the two things you got it. So design of automation framework done by test lead. Design of automation framework done by test lead. Design of automation scripts done by tester. Design of automation framework done by test lead and the design of automation scripts done by tester. Right? So in case of real time, your main job role is just design of automation script. Maximum 95% of the time. So 95% of the time, the test lead is responsible in designing that particular framework. But for now, as part of understanding, we'll go with both the things here. First, we'll understand that how we can design the framework, then we'll understand how we can design automation scripts here. But when it's come to the design, as part of the requirement, we may go with different types of the frameworks. Lot of frameworks has been there. We are working with hybrid framework. We are working with that particular hybrid framework. Okay, so which we are working with this particular perspective of hybrid framework. Right? So if I'm just taking with this particular hybrid framework, we have a lot of things out there. Going forward, we are learning hybrid framework, PYM framework, Cucumber framework. These are the three. So hybrid framework, PYM framework, Cucumber framework. These are the three frameworks we are going to discuss. Okay, now what is the meaning of hybrid framework? We can say that, combination or combining of, okay, which we will be taking with combining or integrating. Combining or integrating multiple futures. Combining or integrating multiple futures into one framework. Combining or integrating multiple futures into one framework. So what are the multiple futures? It depends on the project. See the meaning. The meaning of hybrid means combination, right? If I'm taking with the meaning that I will be taking is hybrid. So when you say that hybrid, multiple things will be there. So when we say that that particular hybrid, that particular multiple combinations will be there. Combining or integrating multiple futures into one framework. Or another definition, or we can say that combine or integrating of any two frameworks into one framework. Okay, so combining or integrating multiple futures into one framework, or combine or integrating of any two frameworks into one framework. That I will be taking with hybrid framework. That is what I will be taking with that particular perspective of hybrid framework. So now what we are doing is, as part of our project requirement. So as part of our project requirement, we are combining or we are integrating multiple futures into one framework. What are the multiple futures we are integrating? So there is no any specific rule, guys. There is no rule, there is no condition saying that we need to implement or we need to integrate only these futures. Okay, so we can go with in integrating with multiple futures. Here, what are all that particular futures is depends on that particular requirement here. Since simple, in general, you will be saying that if I'm taking with these particular futures, First, we are getting started working with playwright. For this particular playwright, you are integrating Alluri reports. For this Alluri reports, you will be integrating that particular test suite. For that particular test suite, you will be taking with these particular Jenkins. For that particular Jenkins, okay, for that particular Jenkins, first we will be taking with playwright. For the playwright, Allure report. For that test suite, for that Jenkins. For that particular Jenkins, you will be taking with GitHub. For that particular GitHub, you will be taking with GitHub Actions, which you will be taking with GitHub Actions. So as part of our requirement, we are integrating these particular features. Is that by GitHub Actions framework completed? No. There is no concept of police stop. When you are working in the real time, there is no concept of police stop for the framework. Please be very clear, guys. There is no concept of police stop for the framework. Because this is a never-end process. As part of that requirement, we will be getting started integrating all the required things. So we are stopping up to this particular step. We are stopping. So we are stopping up to these particular steps. Right? So this is what you will be taking with which you will be having these particular steps here. The one you will be taking with playwright and then Allure report taking with that particular test suite, Jenkins, GitHub and GitHub Actions. So one by one we need to integrate, not like everything together. Step by step we have to learn. Okay. So now first we'll start with playwright. Now, what we have to do, we need to design the framework. What is the meaning of designing the framework? Creation of the folder structure with the standard rules. So what are the folders need to be created? What are all that particular standard rules need to be followed? Let's see that. Okay. All the online students, please be more active, guys. Please be more active. The concepts are very most important. Till now, what you done with the practice is totally different. From today, what you will be taking with the practice is totally different. As I mentioned, previously you done with the part one. Now you have been done with this particular perspective of part two here. Okay. Right. Uh, just 1 minute, guys. Just 1 minute. Right. Okay. Let's see that. So now, hello. Yeah. Is it Sai Krishna? Yeah. You apply for HR job role, right? We are from Suresh IT Academy. So are you looking for HR job role? Okay. What is your experience? Right, guys. So here, if I just go with these particular, now you can see as part of our project requirement, which we will be taking with this particular folder creation. See that. First, main folder. Okay. For easy understanding, I'm mentioning that 77 batch. In case of real time, you will be creating the folder with the project name. I just mentioned that hybrid. In case of real time, like HRMS underscore hybrid, or if you're working with this particular or e-banking underscore hybrid, what exactly that particular project name is there. With that particular project name, you will be creating that particular respective of main folder here, right? So that you will be taking with this particular respective of folder name here, which you will be taking with that particular 77 batch, you will be taking with hybrid. Okay. Under that, you are creating two folders. The folder name is lib. So we can go with any name. We can go with any folder names. Folder names and file names can be anything. It's not like mandatory that you need to be go with the same folders and same names here. It's not like mandatory that you need to be go with that particular same folders and you will be taking with same names here. Okay, right. So which you will be taking with that particular respective of lib folder. Under the lib folder, you are creating with the files, which you will be taking with general. You will be taking with, sorry, first you will be taking with global.ts. First, we are creating one particular file which you will be taking with global.ts. In the same way, you will be taking with, you will be creating one more particular file that you will be mentioning that you will be taking with general.ts. So we'll be taking with global.ts, which you will be taking with general.ts. Right? So one you will be taking with global.ts and then you will be taking with that particular general.ts. And after that, you are creating one more particular folder, which you will be taking with the test folder. This test folder, you doesn't require to create it as part of Playwright installation. Automatically, this folder will be created. Now, under the test folder, you will be maintaining your actual automation scripts here that you will be taking with TC001 dot, you will be taking with spec.ts. TC001 dot spec.ts. Then you will be taking with TC002 dot spec.ts because these are all actual test cases. So these are you will be taking with the actual test cases that you will be mentioning there. You will be taking with these particular steps here. So one you will be taking with lib folder and one you will be taking with test folder and continued with the same after execution automatically will be getting playwright hyphen reports folder and you will be getting with test hyphen results folder. So these folders automatically it will be generated. So this is how the test lead will be coming up with designing with the framework based on that particular project requirement. Based on that particular project requirement, what are all that particular folders need to be created? What are all that particular folders need to be get created, you will be taking with that particular respective folders here. Okay, right. So now, which I will be taking with that particular respective of global. It will be taking with that particular respective of global. So these particular respective of global, the standards it will be followed is to provide test data and objects, nothing but elements related to whole application. That means these are the standards you followed. Like in your local system, how you are maintaining the data, like important files, one folder, photos, one folder, videos, one folder, right? So by that, always any photos are there, you will maintain in the photos folder only. Any softwares are there, you will maintain in the softwares folder. The same concept has been applied, right? So the same concept has been applied, it will be taking with, right? So the same concept has been applied in it will be taking with this particular respective one. Right? So here, as part of our automation also, whatever the automation work we are doing, that particular automation work, we are maintaining in the proper structure. And here you will be taking with, this is you will mention to provide. Okay, this is I will mention, I will be taking with which we can say that to provide, to provide all reusable functions, or I will be taking with methods. To provide all reusable functions, or I will be taking with the methods related to whole application. See here how clearly we are maintaining the data. Previously, as part of part one, everything clubbing together. But now test data one file, functions are one file, actual scripts are another file, results into another file. We are maintaining, we are organizing in the proper way. Which we are maintaining, we are organizing in that particular proper way. That is what we will be taking with these particular respective steps here. Right? So in this way, it will be taking with. In this way, it will be taking with these particular respective steps here. So this is how it will be taking with, which need to be get mentioned that it will be having these particular steps. Okay. And then it will be taking with this particular test folder. In this particular test folder, in this particular test folder. So if I'm taking with this particular respective of test folder, this is, it will be mentioning that to provide actual automation scripts. To provide actual automation scripts here. So which need to be get go with in providing that particular actual automation scripts here. Right? So this is how you will be taking with, which you will be having with these particular respective steps here. So whatever that actual automation scripts are there, you will maintain. And this is which you will be mentioning that to have predefined. We doesn't require to write any code related to this, auto-generated, to have predefined HTML reports here. So this is what you will be taking with this particular folder structure here. So based on this, we need to be get continued in developing that particular automation scripts. So most of the time, while attending with the interview, 99%, not like 99, I can say that 100% you may expect with the questions related to that particular framework. If they're asking about explain framework, explain automation framework, you have to comfortable in explaining these particular steps here, which we have been explaining these particular respective steps here. So in this way, we need to be get go with and having these particular steps here. So here, all these particular standards and rules, not like mandatory, every project will follow the same thing. But these are the very common things will be applicable here. If interviewer is asking in a question, explain framework, not like you will be explaining all the code. You have to explain all your folder structure, what are the files you are maintaining, what is the data you are maintaining, how you got in a connectivity, everything you need to be get explained here. So now, according to this, we are designing with the framework. Let's see that how exactly we can design it. As usual, you will be taking with this particular Playwright workspace. So here, I'm just creating one particular folder, taking with the new folder, mentioning that you will be taking with 77 batch. 77 batch, which I will be taking with, that I will be taking with the hybrid. 77 batch, I will be taking with that particular hybrid here. Okay, so now I'll go to that particular VS Code. As I created in that particular workspace only, automatically it has been getting reflected here, 77 batch hybrid. Now, first what I need to do, as usual, I need to get go with installing with the Playwright. To install with the Playwright, you will be taking with integrated terminal. To install with the Playwright, you will be taking with integrating with the terminal. So here you need to be get go with that particular respective of installation. So what is the command to install the Playwright? If you want to install with the Playwright, what is the command you will be followed? Mhm. Right. Don't forget with the commands, guys. See that. You will be taking with npm, node package manager, and then you will be taking with init, initialization. What you have to initialize, you will be taking with the Playwright, which you will be taking with Playwright npm init, you will be taking with Playwright. At the rate, you will be taking with latest. At the rate, you will be taking with latest. So npm init, and then you will be taking with the Playwright, mentioning that at the rate latest. So once you click on enter, it will start that particular installation. Asking about TypeScript, yes. Having test folder as GitHub Actions as and browser as. So everything it will be installing, which need to be able to go with these particular steps. Once all the installation has been completed, once all that particular installation is completed, right? So after completion of all that particular installation, you will get in a message of happy hacking. Then you will confirm that installation is successful. So test folder, everything got added. This is the default automation script. We are deleting it. Okay. Then you will be taking with playwright config file, which you will be taking with this particular respective of 77. Okay. Playwright configuration file. Here you will be making with the changes here that I will be mentioning that parallel. I'm just providing that false, which I will be taking with false. Then you will be taking with this particular browser, only Chrome we are taking with the enable, remaining things you will be taking with common section. Just I got taking with only Chrome. Okay, so this is what I will be mentioning that I will be taking with these particular details here. So now we have been done with the modifications to config file. So once we got done with that particular config file, then it will be taking with another folder. So here we need to be get go with, we need to be get create one more folder. That is what it will be taking with the new folder. It will be taking with the lib. We got in a lib folder, we got in a test folder. Now, in this particular lib folder, creating with the files here, right? So in this particular respective of lib folder, in this particular respective of lib folder, which it will be taking with this particular respective one, right? So which you will be taking with this particular one, it will be having with these particular steps here. I mean, which it will be taking with this particular lib folder, creating one particular new file. 77. Okay. We are creating new file. Providing with the file name, it will be mentioning that it will be taking with that particular global.ts. Okay. This is what one particular file. In the same folder, we are creating one more particular file, providing with the file name general.ts. Okay. Then you will be taking with the test folder. Under the test folder, you are creating actual test script tc001 dot. You will be taking with spec.ts. tc001 dot spec.ts. Then you will be taking with one more folder, which you will be taking with that particular file, mentioning the tc002 dot spec.ts. tc002 dot spec.ts. So this is how you will be maintained. So now folders has been created. What are the standard rules we have to follow? First, we will be taking with the global. In global, what you are maintaining? You are maintaining to provide. To provide test data and objects and elements related to the whole project. Related to the whole project, we are maintaining that particular test data here. Okay, so this is what we got mentioned. Okay, done. Then you will be taking with this particular step. After that, you will be taking with the general. In general, what we are maintaining, this is to provide, to provide all reusable functions, reusable functions, or you can consider methods related to entire project. Then you will be taking with TC001, which you will be taking with that particular TC001. So that particular TC001, you will be taking with, you will be having to actual or to provide actual test scripts here, which you will be taking with test scripts here. Okay, so this is how we got an standards. So up to this, test lead is the responsible. So while working in the real time, up to this, the test lead will be responsible. Then this whole framework, it will be hand over to testing team. As a testing team, we need to design automation scripts. As a testing team, we need to design automation script. So how we need to design automation script in general, on which basis we have to develop automation scripts? On which basis we have to develop automation scripts? Right. Based on manual test cases. Right? So based on manual test cases. So based on manual test cases, we need to develop automation script. So based on manual test cases, we need to develop automation script. So the same test case I'm using, which will be taking with login and logout. The same test case I'm using login and logout. So we are already knowing how to automate it. But the same thing now we are working with the framework. Previously we automated individually. Now we are automating based on that particular framework. Let's see that how we can do that. First we will be taking with global. In global, first I'm creating one particular class. That particular class I'm defining as a export. So export and import, we are already knowing it. Previously, we are already discussed it. If I mention export means we are giving the permission. We are giving the permission. This class can be accessible in any another file or any another folder that it will be taking with the export. Okay, done. Now, here what we have to maintain, first we will be maintaining test data. You will be maintaining test data. So in the same way, you need to be maintain objects and elements. So which test data you will maintain? Whatever the test case you will automate. Whatever the test case you are automating related to that particular test case, you have to maintain the test data. Now we are working login, logout, test case 1. So related to test case 1, what is the test data we require? Related to the test case 1, what is the test data we require? So as an automation tester, we can understand by referring with the manual steps, we can understand that what is the test data has been required. So we required URL, username, password. For now, as part of test case 1, we required an URL, we required a username, we required a password. So that I'm defining as a public because it's need to be accessible in other test cases also, other files also. Public URL, you will be taking with that particular username and then you will be taking with that particular password. So for now, we are defining with the test data only related to test case 1. Okay. In the same way, you will be taking with objects or elements. In the same way, you will be taking with objects or elements. So what are the objects we required? Username text box, password text box, login button, and logout link. Username text box, password text box, and then login button, logout link. Okay, let's see that. Which will be taking with public. That is a text box. It will be taking with name equal to txt username. Then it will be taking with the password. After that, it will be taking with that particular button, which it will be taking with the login button. Then it will be taking with that particular logout link here. I mean, whatever the test case you are automating, whatever the test case you are automating related to that particular test case, you have been followed all that particular respective of objects has been elements here. Now, related to the test case 1, we got maintained here. Okay, see the concept here. For now, we are working with the concept of data types and variables. In the TypeScript, we already discussed it. Data types and variables. We have not done any new thing here. Just we done with the concept of data types and variables. So as part of the requirement, whatever the things I want to define, we defined it. Okay, so this is what it will be mentioning that it will be taking with these particular steps here. Right? So this is how it will be providing. Now, apart from this, please be very clear, guys. All the online students, please be more active. Please be more active. Previously, everything you done with the help of page reference, page dot go to, page dot locator, right? Or it will be taking page dot frame, page dot that hover, everything page reference only. That means as part of our whole playwright automation, that a page reference is the main thing which has been required and which should be applicable for a whole project. Please be very clear, guys. It's need to be get applicable for whole project. So because of that, how I'm doing, I'm making it is also global. That page also I'm making as a global. So how I'm defining as a global is further I'm taking with one particular constructor. I'm just defining one particular constructor. We are already discussed about constructor. What is the what is the advantage of the constructor? What is the advantage of the constructor, guys? Mm-hmm. Right. So no need of to call that constructor. Specifically, we doesn't require to call that. Automatically, it will be executed whenever the object reference is created. Okay, right. See here. Now what I'm doing for the constructor, I will be passing with the page. This is also making in a public because it's need to be get applicable. It's need to be get applicable for that particular whole project. So public, I will be taking with the page, which I will be taking with the page. So now this is predefined. Page is a predefined. So further, I need to be get import that particular page. I need to be get import that particular page. Now we can see we imported that particular page model. From that particular page model, you are getting access for the page class. That page class you are assigning to the reference of the page. By that, going forward for the whole project, Whenever I required, I'll be taking page.goto or everything, I will be doing it here. Okay, done. So this is what I will be taking with the global. Now see how many concepts we applied here. We done the import option, models concept. In a TypeScript, we discussed about models concept. Class, we discussed about it. Constructor, we discussed it. Data types and variables we got. So as part of that particular requirement, you are utilizing all that particular concepts here. Okay, right. So done. So this is what I will be taking with the global. Not like only test case 1. Next, assume that you want to automate test case 2. Related to test case 2, whatever the test data, whatever the objects, everything you will maintain here only. Next, we will go with general. So in general, what you have to maintain? Reusable functions. According to our understanding, how many types of methods we got? How many types of methods we got? Two types of methods. Predefined, user defined. Till now, did we written any of our own methods? Till now, did we written any of our own methods? No, we have not written. Till now, we have not written any of our own methods. Now you are coming up with in creating our own methods here. Now we are coming up with in creating our own methods based on the test case requirement. Which test case you are automating? Based on that particular test case requirement, you have been writing that particular methods. See here, I'm just taking with export, I will be taking with the class general. You can go with the capital letter only, but to understand the difference of the file name and class name, I given the small g. Now here, what I need to be get provide, I need to be get come up with user defined methods. Till now, we are working with predefined. Now, the time came for to utilize our own methods here based on the predefined methods. By taking with the help of the predefined methods, we are coming up with our own methods as part of that particular requirement. As part of that particular requirement, we are coming up with, we will be taking with that particular own methods here. Okay, right. So let's see that. Let's look into that. How exactly it will be taking with all these particular steps here. Right? So this is, it will be taking with, it will be coming up with. First, I'm creating one particular method. First, I will be taking with the method name open application. I'm just creating one particular method. It will be taking with open application. Okay. This is what it will be taking with one particular method. In a similar way, we are creating one more method that we will be taking with login. So we can go with our own methods. Now we are coming up with our own methods. Okay. Open application and then taking with the login. In the same way, it will be taking with one more method that it will be taking with logout. It will be taking with logout. Now we can see here, we got three methods: open application, login, logout. That means whatever the test case you are automating, based on that particular test case steps, we are coming up with our own methods here. Now, what is the method name? Open application. That means what it has to do, it's need to be get open the application. For that, what we have to do, we need to enter the URL. But if I want to enter the URL according to this framework, where we maintain the test data, where we maintain the test data. In global, we maintain the test data in global. That means now our requirement is whatever the data available in global, whatever the data available in global, we need to access in general. We need to access in general. That is nothing but as simple accessing the data from one class to another class, accessing the data from one class to another class. How we can do that? How we can do that? Exactly. Inheritance. Inheritance. So accessing the data from one class to another class, you will be taking with the extents of global. Extents of global. But again, you can see here, is it global class? This is a class name, but the class is available in the same file? No. So you created two different files. General.ts is a different file. Global.ts is a different file. Two different files. You want to access two different files. That is what you will be taking with import. That is the reason you mentioned the keyword is export. You are taking with that particular import global. Okay, import global. From where you are importing? From the lib folder, you will be taking with the global here. Okay, right. So now as we got an access, you will write with the steps. To open the application, what are the steps you will write? Await this page dot go to. Why we are using with this? Because that is like in a indirectly instance variable. So here, all these particular things we provided outside of the method within a class. Outside of the methods within a class, instance variable. So according to our understanding, instance variable, to call instance variable, you will be taking with this. Okay. And after that, I will be printing with the statement console.log application is open. Then I need to take login. Same steps I will be writing it, which I will be taking with await, enter username, enter password, click on login button. Login is completed. Then you will be taking with the logout. All these things we are already knowing it. But only the thing we done is rather than writing the individual program, we maintained as a methods. Open application, one method. Login is one method. Logout is one method. Okay. Now this part is completed. We got in a global maintain test data objects. We got in a general maintain all reusable methods. Okay, then it will be taking with actual test cases. Now, while working actual test cases as usual, while working actual test cases, first we will be taking with test method. First, we need to be go with that particular respective of test method. So for that, you need to import that model you will be taking with the test. Then you will be writing that particular test. You will be writing that particular respective of the test here. Okay. Now what I have to do, I need to be perform test steps. So as part of the test step, I want to open the application. To open that particular application, I'm already written the method. Next, I need to do the login. I'm having my own method. I want to do the logout. I got my own method. But I want to access the methods. So how we can access the methods? How we can access the methods, guys? Yes, by creating object. For which class I have to create an object? Is it TC001 or global or general? For which class I have to create an object? For which class I have to create object? Is it global or general or TC001? So why you will create global? In global, there is no methods, guys. Don't confuse about the basics. That is the reason I clearly mentioned in the yesterday. Please refresh all our concepts here. Previously, we clearly discussed in the TypeScript. According to the TypeScript, in which class methods are available, you have to create object for that particular class. All our methods are available in general. So because of that, I'm creating with the object for that particular perspective of you will be taking with, you will be mentioning that you will be taking with the general. But we have a constructor. For constructor, we have an argument. What is the argument? Page. The same thing we are passing here. Okay, but giving an error. Why it is giving an error? So I created object, but it is giving an error. Why it is giving an error? Exactly. We need to import it because the general is available in the different folder. Your working test folder, but general is available in the lib folder. So you need to get import that particular model that you will be taking with the import. You will be taking that particular lib. Now we can see here, I will be taking with, now we came up with our own methods here. I'm just taking with the await object dot open application, our own method. Then I will be taking with the login and I'll be taking with the logout. So how Playwright people created the different type of methods to reuse it in the same way as part of our project, as part of our framework, we got created our own methods here. Now we can see, I'll take with the execution. Execution, same concept. NPX, you will be taking with the playwright test folder TC001 dot spec dot ts, which you will be taking with headed mode. You will be taking with headed mode. Right? Let's see here. If I'm just taking with the execution, if I'm just taking with the execution, now you will be able to see that that steps has been executed. Okay, so now executed, guys. Very fast it has been executed because I have not given any wait statement. I have not given any wait statement here, which you will be taking that particular execution. Now we can see here, so I'll just execute once again. I'm just executing once again. It is saying that running only one test because, right, so which you will be taking with one test method. So this is how you need to get start working with these particular respective of framework concept here. See that what are the things we have been done? First, we got taking with global. In global, we maintain test data and objects. After that, we got an a general. In general, we got maintain all that particular reusable methods. Then you will be taking with your actual test cases, which you got maintained that particular actual test script here. So this is how you will be able to get go with in maintaining or working these particular frameworks concept. So in this way, what you guys need to be do is initially you need to take with the same practice only. You can go with the same folder structure. With the same folder structure, with the same standards, you can start automating these test cases. Test case 1, you will be taking with login, and then you will be taking with logout. Test case 2, you will be taking with add new employee. Add new employee. Then you will be taking with test case 3, which you will be taking with edit employee. You will be taking with edit employee. Then you will be taking with test case 4, which you will be taking with delete employee. Right? So at least for tomorrow, if we complete in automating these particular test cases in framework, I'm talking about framework. In framework, if you automate these particular 4 test cases, then you guys will get in a more clear picture, clear understanding the advantage of the framework. I will be explaining what are the advantages. But before that, you have to continue in working with these particular 4 test cases here. Then you will be able to go with in taking with these steps here. Right? So this is what you will be taking with these particular respective automation framework. So first you can automate 4 test cases in the framework only. Then you will get in a more clear picture. After that, I will be explaining what are all that particular advantages and how we need to integrate all that particular features. So step by step, you will be getting understanding here. Okay, clear everyone? Right. Having the questions, you guys can carry on your questions. But again, I'm saying, guys, frameworks are very most important. Without working on the framework, you cannot gain the real-time knowledge. If you are expecting the real-time experience, that much of time you need to spend on the framework, then you will be gaining that much of real-time experience here. So you can take the help of offline lab support, online lab support, but make sure that you will be taking with the regular practice here. Okay? Clear everyone? Right. Having the questions, you guys can carry on your questions.
Hi Suresh, I have a
Yes.
query. During creating the workspace test folder, right? Every time we create, we will have to install this Playwright package,
Yes. As
every
simple as
folder.
if oh, I mean, as simple whenever you're taking with the new project, nothing but new folder, you have to
Mhm.
install with the Playwright.
Okay, it's not like a system level or something.
No, no, because that is
Okay.
not in a .exe file, right? In case of
Mhm.
.exe file, it will go with the system level. Okay.
Okay. And one more thing, we are creating the reusable functions, right? The methods in this general file. Here we are
Hmm.
using async and not neither public or private or anything for these functions, right? So what
No,
does
no,
this
no,
async?
no. See, whenever we are working individual program, so while
Hmm.
working with individual program, what we have been done, see, if we look into the individual program, we are using the async method.
Yeah, we used to use it.
Okay. So because why we are using this, we required this await. For this
Mm-hmm.
particular await, we are using these particular async because these two are interconnected and everything according to the playwright, it is taking care about built-in wait handling. That means if I want to use await, it's mandatory that I need to go with the async here. For that particular purpose, in these particular respective of the methods, for every test step, it is mandatory that I want to use await. So if I want to use await, I require an async here. Okay.
Okay. Okay, like it's not something like an access modifier
No,
is what I
no,
thought.
no. That is not access modifier.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Suresh.
Yep. Next. All right, guys. No
Yeah,
more other
hello.
questions, right? Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Uh,
Carry on.
why do we make the change for config file? Two change. One is related to browser and one to fully parallel false. Why do we that?
I don't want to execute parallelly. I want to execute one by one. That is the reason I make as a false. That is parallel execution. In case if you want to execute parallel, we'll maintain as a true. If it doesn't require parallel, then we'll make it as a false. That is a general setting.
I didn't get what exactly. Just explain once again, sir.
Have been already explained. That is the reason a creative told that refresh our previous concepts. At the time of starting days of our playwright, only I clearly explained all the settings in the playwright config file. Okay, so here as simple as if you are mentioning that parallelly as a true, then whenever you are executing your automation script, it will execute parallelly. That means if you are executing three test case, it will execute parallelly. If I'm making as a false, rather than executing parallelly, it will execute one by one. That is what the setting of that. Okay. Okay. Next.
Suresh, one more question I had on the hooks.
Hmm.
Yeah, we have mentioned some in our script, right? Before that, we saw the results where it was executed for every test script. So where is that mentioned in these scripts?
That is
Some,
predefined, right?
yeah, those the
We
predefined ones are like if I don't want to execute those or something is like.
No. So that particular hooks concept before hooks and after hooks, which is already it got in a connected. I mean, when you take with that particular individual script, everything it got in a connectivity for these particular page reference. When you're taking with the page, right? So this page, it is got an
Mhm.
internal connectivity. So here you are able to see the picture here. This
Yeah.
originally capital P. This capital P is they have been defined as a one particular fixture. So that particular fixture which is having with the connectivity of that particular hooks concept. That is the reason if we look into this particular HTML report, you can see this particular HTML report, you will be able to see the particular picture. Oh, so here, if I just go with this particular one, so before hooks, able to see the picture here.
Yeah.
So that is what the internet connected we got. So where all these particular code is available. So all these particular code has been available under this particular test module. Where this test module is available, whenever you install with the playwright, you're able to see node underscore modules. So under the node underscore modules, you will be able to see with the playwright. Under the playwright, you got a test here. So there all the logic has been available. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Suresh.
Yeah. All right, guys. Okay. Please take care about the practice, guys. Please spend with the more time into the practice, guys. You can utilize offline lab support. You can utilize online lab support, but make sure that you will be taking the regular practice here. Okay.
Yeah, Suresh, I
Right.
have a single doubt.
Yeah.
Actually, you have given us 4 test cases, right? Uh,
Correct.
my doubt is like every time I need to write login, or can I do like running all the 4 test cases?
No, no, no. I told her to make individual 4 test cases.
Yeah, yeah.
Test case
Individual four
one.
test cases means every time, like second time for adding a new employee, also I need to write login, log out, and add new employee like that.
Yes. It's need to open the application, it has to do the login, then add employee, then log out.
Okay, okay. It means there is no connection for the first test case and second test case.
No, there is no way of connectivity. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Right.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, carry on.
Yes, sir. Regarding that test results, in test reports, the previously executed test case reports also saved, or it will update
No,
every
it
time.
will, it will maintain only current results only. It will overwrite with your current results.
Is there any option to save that previous results also?
No, manually you need to take with the backup. Otherwise, you need to write an extra logic. So that particular logic, you need to write some code. So saying that whatever the folder is generating, it's need to be get append with the current date. So that folder name, it's need to be append with the current date, then it will maintain.
Okay.
Okay.
Where do we write that logic, sir?
We have to write in the playwright config file.
Playwright config. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Hello, sir. Are you there? Hello?
Carry on.
Hello, sir.
Yes, carry on.
Yes, in HRMS application, whatever you are given, the URL is CTC or PHYD. Is that different? And Suresh IT Academy HRMS, both are different or both are same?
Both are same. Both are same.
But whatever we are used in that Playwright programs, if suppose we are given any employee details, but it will not visible for a CTC or PHYD in that URL.
That is there is a server issue. That is the reason we create functionality wise it is same. But there is a server issue in updating the database. That is the reason we created this new server of Suresh.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.